Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aqua Alex Live. I'm your host, Aqua Alex Cardinale. I hope you're having a great Thursday evening and are ready for an exciting edition of Aqua Alex Live. Today, I'm going to be interviewing a great friend of mine. He is a fantastic tropical fish keeper, and he's also a loyal listener. He's been listening to my podcast for many years, as well as being subscribed to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be interviewing my friend Steve from YouTube channel Steve's Aquatics. So I'm glad we were able to finally get this video going. I know that there was a little bit of lag with the video starting. I think there's some tech issues because it's raining down here in Florida. But anyway, please join me in welcoming my special guest, Steve from YouTube channel Steve's Aquatics. Steve, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
My pleasure.
I know you've been following my podcast and my videos for a while, so that's how we met. And I want to thank you for being such a loyal viewer and audience member.
Oh, you're welcome. I started listening to you back in, I believe it was 2014, Aquatic Wetline. And once I started listening to your podcast, I was hooked.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. A lot of fish keepers are like that as well. So I'm always interested to hear how people respond to my aquarium stuff.
Well, back then in 2014, there wasn't that many podcasts about fish keeping. And you were like one out of three. And the other two I didn't care for. But when I started listening to you, I took to it right away. And it made me want to go out and buy an aquarium.
That's awesome. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. If any of my live viewers have any questions for our special guest, post them in the comments below, and I will ask Steve your wonderful questions. So my first question for you, I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask most guests that are on here for the first time. How did you get into the aquarium hobby?
Well, how I got into it, my older son came home to live with us for maybe a year or so because he was in between apartments. And he brought his 20-gallon fish tank with him. And after a couple of years, when he moved out, he decided not to take the fish tank. So he said, "Here, Dad, you can have it." So I took it and I started taking care of the fish. And I realized, you know what? This is a lot of fun. So after that, I wanted to learn more about it. And so that's when I went on Google, searched podcasts about aquariums, and that's how I found you.
That's awesome. It's always interesting to know that I inspired other people to get into the hobbies that I love.
You definitely inspired me. 25 tanks and counting.
Well, so you've outdone me then.
Yeah,
Right now,
much to my wife's dismay.
right now I only have one tank, but I'm planning on getting more.
I really enjoyed it when you had a saltwater aquarium because you were really into those fish.
Nice. Saltwaters are is very nice. Yeah, I'm planning on setting up a saltwater tank again in the future, but I want to do freshwater and saltwater.
Yeah, that's what I have now. I have one, well, actually, I have two saltwater tanks, and then the rest are freshwater.
Nice. That's awesome. So, what were some of the first fish that you have kept?
Well, the first fish I kept, of course, the very first saltwater fish that I kept was the clownfish. And then after that, because of the movie, I guess it was Finding Nemo or something like that, Disney, I got a blue tang. And then from there, I got a yellow tang and then a foxface rabbitfish. And I just enjoyed them a lot.
Nice. The fox faces are my favorite saltwater fish.
They are a wonderful fish. They're very easy to keep. And as soon as you put them in a tank, they start eating. So it's for a new fish keeper, it gives you hope that, hey, once they start eating, they're going to live.
That's true. I think the fox faces are like flagtail procelotus of the saltwater hobby.
A lot alike, yes.
What were your first freshwater fish?
First freshwater, of course, angelfish, Oscar, and pleco. That started me out. And now, boy, you name it, and I've tried it. I still have my Oscar. He's an albino Oscar. Love him. And I haven't tried the flagtail yet. But after listening to your video a few days ago, I think I'm going to go out and get one of those.
Nice. You'll definitely love the flagtail. They'll take care of any allergy in your tank, and they pretty much eat anything.
Do they? Okay. And they'll get along with the other fish that are in there already.
Yeah, they're peaceful. They don't bother anything. Sometimes they might suck on like a silver dollar slime coat, but that's very rare in the aquarium hobby.
All right, that's good. I also my favorite fish right now. It has to be my severums. I love the severums. They're so full of color, so easy to keep, and they're peaceful.
Nice. I was just going to say that in a few minutes we're going to see some of your fish, and I have to say that the Severums are my personal favorite that you showed me.
Oh, great!
I actually just got a rock heel Severum on Tuesday that I'm going to post on my YouTube channel next week.
All right, I can't wait to see it.
Very cool. So we have a question from one of our YouTube viewers. He says, "How many tanks do you have?"
So I have right now 25, ranging from 150 gallons all the way down to 10 gallons. And the 10 gallons I mostly use for quarantine tanks.
Nice. Very smart. It's always good to have quarantine tanks on hand.
Yeah, everybody, when they first start out, they learn the hard way. You've got to have a quarantine tank because the number one menace of fish keepers is ick, as you know.
Yes, that's very true. Currently, right now, I only have one aquarium, but in the future, I'll have a couple more. I definitely want to do a community aquarium for freshwater and get a saltwater tank going again as well.
That'll be real nice. Well, you're in Florida now, so you have access to so many great fish down there.
Pretty much, yes. The thing about that is there are a lot of fish that are illegal up here because of the size they get, and we're a warm climate. So if someone released them in the wild, they would thrive up here. So I can't have like a wolffish or freshwater stingray or a black arowana or anything like that.
Oh, wow. I know
Yeah,
you like those monster fish.
yeah, I'm a very big monster fish fan.
I think you said your dad turned you on to the big fish, right?
Yeah, my dad was keeping monster fish before I was born. Now he's pretty much into Oscars and stuff, but before that he was into like arowanas, pacu, and wolffish, things like that.
Nice, nice. I wouldn't mind having a red arowana, but I know those are illegal.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Asian arowanas are very illegal. Maybe in 10 years they won't be though.
Keep my fingers crossed.
Nobody thought that that Donald Trump would become a president.
You're right about that.
He did a pretty good job.
So.
So, what do you enjoy the most about the aquarium hobby?
I have to say, I really, really enjoy buying the small fish and watching them grow up and then watching them pair off and then breed, have babies, and then starting it all over again.
Nice. I've only bred one fish, and that was on accident, actually. It was a pair of super red koi angelfish.
Oh, that's nice. Did you have trouble feeding the babies, or what happened to them?
Well, unfortunately, the pair ate the baby, so I didn't have any fry.
I
So they
got
weren't
you.
successful.
Yeah, it's if you could get it past the parents eating the babies, then you can start feeding them on live baby brine shrimp, and then from there it's pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't know how they spawned. My water must have been perfect for them.
Must have been. Did you have live plants?
Artificial.
Artificial? All right. Where did they lay the eggs on?
on the glass, like on the silicone.
Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty
Yeah, very
cool.
strange. All my research says that they usually lay on like plants and stuff, so I was surprised.
Yeah, I think it has to be a vertical surface.
That explains it.
Yeah.
So, what types of fish are you currently keeping?
Right now, I have the Severums. I have some Congo tetras, which I really love because they're a tetra, but they get really big. They get like 4 or 5 inches. Um, I'd also have some Turkana jewel cichlids. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they're kind of the rage in the hobby right now. They're a jewel cichlid, but they're sort of peaceful, and they get like a blood red or a dark peach color, and you can have a whole bunch of them in the tank, and they're very colorful. I also have, which I think I told you a few days ago, I'm growing out a oh, what's that South American fish? I think I told you. The red terror, female red terror.
Ah, nice.
And as you know, the female is the most colorful out of the pairing. The males are they're nice, but they're not as nice as the female.
Nice. The South American red terror, also known as the Fieste. Those are one of my dream fish. I've never had the opportunity to get one of them.
Oh, you've got to try one. Just get it small and watch it grow up, which is what I'm doing right now. Mine's about 3.5, 4 inches, and it's starting to show lots of color. I might have sent you a video of that earlier today.
Yes, you did. We're actually about to show that. So I'm going to show some of your videos and some of your fish. So this is actually a precedent because it's the first time that I get to show my viewers a special guest aquarium and fish.
Great.
So we're going to show our viewers your fish, and then we'll talk about them.
All right.
And the first one we're going to start off is with the red terror you talked about.
Beautiful fish, isn't it?
Sorry about that. I think we're having technical difficulties. Did it play? Did the video play?
Yeah, it played wonderfully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is going out on my end, so I'm not sure if it played or not.
Yeah, it played.
Okay. Now we'll show you the next video.
All right. That one played good.
Nice. That tank is gorgeous. I like the different types of serums you got in there. And you got some beautiful rainbow fish in there.
Rainbow fish, and I have a couple of geos, and that's my 150-gallon tank. Most of my tanks are acrylic, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes if you want me to.
Sure. I was gonna say the flagtail procellatus would look nice in that 150.
That would be the one I would put it in, yes.
Oh wow, good guess for me.
Yeah, those were the Turkana jewel cichlids I was telling you about. Gorgeous fish. And then there was the Congo tetras in there also.
Nice. Those Congo tetras look absolutely amazing.
Yes, they're a great fish, very peaceful. They eat like pigs. You never have any trouble. Any kind of water, perfect.
Nice. They're actually freshwater fish.
Yes, they are.
So hopefully our next video will play without any interruption. I'm having Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure if they're playing. They're probably playing good for you guys.
Yeah, on this end, it's very good.
Yeah, we're having a thunderstorm here, so my Wi-Fi is shaky.
Well, I used to live in Florida. I know about those thunderstorms. Those were Millennium albino rainbow fish, one of the jewels of the rainbow fish category. Um, love those. Not so easy to find, but they're very beautiful.
They're stunners. They look amazing. I'm
And the
thinking about
males
setting up.
get, go ahead.
I was going to set up a community aquarium with them, hopefully in the future.
You'll love them. The males get to about 5 inches. And every morning, without fail, if you have some sort of mop or a breeding mop or fake plants, they'll breed every morning when you first put on the lights.
I agree. They are very stunning fish.
That's a new community tank I just set up not too long ago. It's got a koi angelfish. It's got a couple of apistogrammas, a killifish, some cardinal tetras, and then a whole school of the orange laser cory catfish.
Ah, very nice. Corridors are one of my favorite community fish.
They're great, really great.
Angelfish are nice too. I like them.
Yeah, I had a pair, but unfortunately, the male and female didn't get along after a while. They laid eggs a couple times, and then for some reason they started fighting, and the male killed the female. So I just have the male left.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So we have a question from YouTuber. He's asking, will pajama cardinals get along with clownfish in a saltwater aquarium? Yeah, they'll get along together fine in a saltwater tank.
As a matter of fact, I have in my saltwater tank, I have clownfish and pajama cardinals. They tolerate each other in my tank as long as the tank is large enough. But the cardinal, I have a maroon clownfish. And as you know, the maroons could be a little bit territorial. So I don't know if it's so much the fact that it's a pajama cardinal fish he doesn't like. I just don't think he likes anybody.
Nice. The maroon clowns are actually my personal favorite.
They're gorgeous fish.
Absolutely. I think uh, Banggai cardinals are my favorite saltwater cardinal.
Yes, I have the pajamas. Next time I'm going to try the Banggai ones.
Those are beautiful. So I know we just saw some of your beautiful aquariums and your beautiful tropical fish, But are there any fish species you haven't kept yet, but you want to?
Wow, that's a good question. Probably I would like to get into some more killifish. At first, I thought, well, that's kind of a category that not too many people keep until you get your first one and you see the loads of color that they get and the fact that they get along with every type of fish and they get pretty large, 4 or 5 inches. I don't know if you've kept any killifish, but they're really, really nice.
No, I haven't. I haven't actually had killifish before. I hear a lot of good things about them. I hear they have a lot of personality and they're very active and hardy to keep and they eat a lot.
Yes, and people think that they're called killifish, so they must kill all the other fish. Couldn't believe it or not, that's the case. There, it couldn't be further from the truth. They get along with every type of fish, and they're very easy to breed. I have one now, but there's so many colorful ones. I think I really want to get into the different kind and see what I can master as far as breeding.
Nice. Breeding fish is good because you make a profit and you have a little fun with it.
Yeah, I sell a lot of my. I breed OB African cichlids, the
Peacocks.
peacocks. There you go. I breed for like 2 years now. I've bred a whole bunch of them, and I sell them to my local fish store. Make a nice profit, enough to buy all the food I need and other tanks and stuff like that. They're very easy to breed, but the only thing with the Africans, you got to be careful because they fight like crazy.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. Someone the other day asked me at my work. I have another person that keeps fish at my job, and he said, "I've been watching your YouTube for a couple of years, but I've never seen you talk about African cichlids." And I told him I don't like African cichlids just because you have to buy so many of them. Because if you don't have that many of them, you're going to walk home to one dead fish a day, the next day another dead fish, etc. And plus, they're just too expensive to have to buy so many of them to control aggression.
You're so right. They really are the meanest fish you probably want to get. But if you get your tank started with a whole bunch of them and let it settle in, they tolerate each other. And they're very, very outgoing. They come right to the front of the glass when it's time to eat. They know who's feeding them. So I've always enjoyed them. But you just have to be careful because a new fish keeper that starts out with them, he's going to be disappointed when, like you say, he's going to have a dead fish every day.
That's true. However, I do like the Frontosia, so if I were to have an African tank, it would be Frontosa.
That's a whole different ball game. Those are wonderful, wonderful fish. They're not even as mean as the other Africans, and I think you can have those for like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, they live a long time. They get pretty big too.
They do.
Some of the other African fish that I like are Polypterus, the bikers. They're pretty cool too. I'm planning on having a tank dedicated just to those in the future.
All right. And you have pretty hard water in Florida, right?
Yes, yes, I do. But for my display tank, I keep my water as close to Amazon as I can. So my pH is really soft. So I'm not sure how that would handle that.
Yeah, they're not going to handle the soft water too well. So you might have to, maybe put some aragonite on the bottom of the tank.
That's true. Like when I do trade-ins at my fish store, like, oh, your pH is really low. Why is that? And then I tell them I have like South American fish, and I keep my pH as low as I can.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So with my fish store, the guy is really knowledgeable. He says, well, because your pH is low, I can't give you any credit right now. Usually within 24 to 48 hours, I get it.
Oh, he wants to see how the fish will make out in his tanks.
Yeah, because his pH is like close to 8 compared to mine.
Wow.
Yeah, big difference. But usually with South American species, it's really easy to adjust them to pH, different pHs.
Yeah. I think you can use driftwood, right, to lower the pH.
Yep, I have a lot of driftwood in my tank. That might be why my pH is so low too.
Yeah, that's what I use to when I want to drop it some. I put some manzanite in there.
Nice. I noticed when I had my pH low that a lot of my South American fish, their colors pop more.
Really, I got to
Yeah,
try that.
like the red belly pacu, for example, that's on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right. You love those pakus.
Yeah,
They're sort of like a piranha, right?
yeah, they're in the same family. They're like a vegan piranha, even though they're not really vegan.
Yeah, those get. I think they get like 2 feet, don't they?
Sometimes even bigger than that, depending on the size of the aquarium and stuff.
Wow. I noticed in a lot of your videos, you have some really, really big fish. That must be a lot of fun to feed.
Oh yeah, I go through a bag of shrimp a week.
Wow. And I notice you like catfish too. That seems to be your favorite fish.
Yeah, they're very personable, especially the monster ones. Although the smaller ones like corridors are personable too.
You know, there's one particular catfish that I've been looking for like 3 years now. It's called a ninja wood cat. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yes, yes, those are very beautiful. They come from South America too, so I would check out tangledupincichlids.com and Wet Spot Tropical Fish.
Oh, okay, good. I'll do that. I've been looking for one of those for a long time.
Have you ever ordered fish online before?
All the time.
Me too.
I get big boxes. I When I first started ordering fish and getting them in the mail, I thought this can't be. How could you actually get live animals through the mail? But it's really easy.
Yeah, for the aquarium hobby it is, and I'm not sure how it is for reptiles, but I know that some dogs are shipped from airports.
Wow,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know.
So we have a couple more questions from YouTube. A question for you. He asked, American or African cichlids and why?
Well, I would say both. And why is because I can't get enough fish. If I had if I had my way, I would have 100 tanks and have 100 different kind of fish. I just really, really enjoy it. In fact, I have 2 tanks in my house, and the rest of them are in my garage. I set up a whole fish room in my garage.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that, but my landlord probably wouldn't let me.
Are you upstairs or downstairs?
Downstairs.
Downstairs. He should allow some, shouldn't he?
He probably will. I just have to ask him.
Yeah.
Although he wasn't really happy when I told him I was planning on getting a 180 gallon or a 220.
Whoa. That is a big boy right there. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's a big step up from a 75.
Now, what kind of filtration would you use in a tank that large?
Canister. I would go with canisters.
Canister?
Yeah, I right now I have hang on the back filters, and as I'm learning, they're not really the best for monster fish.
Now, if I told you that the 150-gallon tank I have was running on 2 Marineland Emperor 400s, would you believe me?
Yeah, those are actually decent filters, really good quality.
I cannot say enough good things about that. It keeps that tank crystal clear, and it's so easy to work on. Once a month, I change out the cartridges, and it keeps up with the filtration. It keeps the fish healthy. And I thought for sure that that wouldn't work, but it's worked fine. And the reason why I switched from canister to hang on the backs is for the ease of maintenance. When you have 25 tanks, you don't want to sit there and take an hour on each canister. That's the reason.
That's a good point. The hand back filters that I'm using now, I would not recommend for anyone that wants to keep monster fish. They're actually the Aqueon Quiet Flow brand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't have any of those. I basically go with the Aqua Clear, the Marine Land, and the new one from Seacom. I don't know, the tidal filters. Have you heard about those? The
Oh
hang on the
yeah,
back?
those are my favorite hanging on the backs. I don't
Yeah.
have access to them at my local fish store. Otherwise, I would have them.
Yeah, they're wonderful, wonderful filters.
They're basically like a canister that's stored above your tank or like on the back of your tank.
Right. And they have a surface skimmer, and they also suck in water from the bottom. And they have a big compartment like the Aqua Clear, so you can put any kind of media you want in there. They have a heater holder. They're just really, really well made.
I think they also have a UV sterilizer in them.
Not the ones I have,
No, no,
but
maybe I'm mistaken.
yeah, they've been out like 3 years, I think, but I haven't seen any with a UV sterilizer yet.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
There's so many, I know.
I know. Yeah, but if I get a canister, I definitely want Fluval FX6, FX6, I mean, and maybe the Aqua Top with the UV sterilizer.
Yeah, the FX6, that's the Cadillac of the canister filters. I don't own one, but if I had to have one, I would definitely want one of those.
Yeah, they just command a high price tag sometimes.
Yeah, around here they're like $339.
Pretty much the same up here, maybe like $20 more.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have another question. This one's about a beautiful saltwater fish. Alex or Steve, do either of you have an emperor angelfish?
I had a emperor angelfish in my saltwater tank, a very, very small one, for a while, but unfortunately, um, he didn't live that long, only 6 months. I tried everything to get him to fatten him up, live baby brine, frozen foods, pellet foods, but they're so finicky. And I was new at the hobby back then, so maybe that had something to do with it. But if I had to do it all over again, I would get a little larger one. I think the small ones are kind of delicate.
You hit the nail on the head with that one. They are a gorgeous fish. 2015, I had one in my 120-gallon saltwater tank. So it's on my YouTube channel. Just go look for it, and you'll see how gorgeous these fish are. So I do like the emperor angel. So hopefully in the future I can get a big enough tank to get one again.
Yeah, there's nothing like saltwater angelfish. The colors are just phenomenal.
Awesome. So now we're going to talk about how we met for a little bit. I know we talked about it a few, 20 minutes ago, but how did you come across my aquarium podcast and YouTube channel?
Well, the YouTube channel was because I was listening to your podcast, so that was easy. And then the podcast, like I said, was I was trying to find some information on aquariums because I was just starting out. And you seem to have the most information, and you also made it fun. I mean, your interviews with Willie T and Jeremy and the manager of Caribbean Sea and even some of your funny interviews. Like I remember you interviewed a guy named Beasley Brown. Do you remember that interview?
I do now. That
And
one was out of
you
left
had
field, I think.
yeah you had his name backwards, and he finally said, "Listen, my name is Brown Beasley, not Beasley Brown." Yeah, I definitely love your podcast. Even to this day, I go back and re-listen to them.
Yeah, they were really fun to do, but for some reason, I ended up getting a lot of hate for my podcast. I'm not sure why.
Oh, don't listen to those people. There's haters everywhere. You can't believe how much entertainment you gave me and my wife too, because I made her listen to some.
Oh, that means a lot to me.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of fun.
I have to say that William T was a real pain behind the scenes. He was really hard to work with.
I know there was a few behind the scenes arguments that I kind of got the impression that you guys weren't getting along during some of the podcasts, but then you would make up and do podcasts again. And he seemed to try to, insists that he was like the king of the discus, doing it his way was the only way. But I don't think you like that too much.
No, I put a stop to that after a while.
Have you heard from him lately?
No, no, I haven't heard from him in many years actually.
I know I listened to the one episode where he was in the Philippines,
Yeah.
and which was a shock. I couldn't believe it. I know he was living with his son and he wasn't getting along with his son. And then next thing I heard, he was in the Philippines.
Well, maybe I scared him out of the United States. Yeah, he was really hard to work with. I had to tell him, look, if you're gonna do it, if you're not gonna do it my way, then I'm not gonna have you on anymore. So he listened only because he wanted to stay relevant with me, as
Yeah,
cruel as it sounds. But
he was co-hosting other podcasts at the same time, wasn't he?
yes, and that was what really upset me because he said he was loyal to me, but then I saw him doing other shows, and at one time we were scheduled to do a live stream, and I found out he was actually on another show, and that's when I said, you know what, I'm done with him. I'm not gonna have him on again. So after that, I didn't have him on for like 2 years.
Wow. And then of course James, the Crayfish King, wonderful, wonderful guy, and I enjoyed those podcasts too.
Yeah, he's the one that I think he's the reason that got me to superstardom, so to speak. He's behind a lot of that stuff. So hopefully I can get him to do that with my videos now.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
If you need someone, I'm available too, whenever you need me.
perfect. I appreciate that.
Sure.
So we have another question from a YouTube viewer, and they say, Alex and Steve, what motivated you to keep tropical fish?
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Pretty much, I was born in the aquarium hobby. My dad was keeping fish before I was born and since I was born. But I wanted my first aquarium when I was like 12 years old because I got tired of feeding my dad's fish, and I was like, what if I have my own aquarium? And then that day I got aquarium, and I ended up buying fish that outgrew that tank, and then I got a bigger tank, and that's where I am today with monster fish.
As far as I'm concerned, my son motivated me because he left me his tank, and then you took it from there, listening to your podcast, making me want to go out and buy all these fish. So I thank the two of you for that.
That's awesome. That's why I like doing these podcasts because I have a big fan base, and I appreciate all the fans that take the time to listen to my podcast and watch my videos. I have to say that the videos are more fun to me than the audio.
Yeah, I think you have 16,000 subscribers, don't you?
Yes, yes, I actually do. I want to say like 80% of them are actually earned subscribers, and the other 20%, I used a website that I'm not sure if it exists anymore, but it helps boost your YouTube channel.
Wow.
So I guess you could kind of say that a little bit I cheated.
Hey, it works. You reach more people. That's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, that was another William T idea, by the way.
Oh, really? So do you still communicate with Jeremy and the other friends that you made?
Yes, absolutely. Jeremy's a good friend of mine, and he's coming on next week, hopefully. He has a very busy work schedule, but he wants to be on here, so that's very, very awesome. I still talk to James. Um,
Donovan?
Donovan, I have not heard from him in a long time.
Okay.
I can't even find him on Facebook anymore, so I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the people that supported me have gone missing, or maybe they don't want to see my stuff anymore. But who knows?
I think way back in the beginning, you even interviewed Joey, didn't you?
Yes, yes, way
King of
back.
BYI. Yeah.
Yeah, way before he had the controversy going.
Yeah, he's quite the personality.
Yeah, but I definitely would be open to interviewing him again and maybe some other celebrities.
Do you listen to the Aquarium Co-op podcasts and YouTube channels?
I do. I haven't in a long time though. I know one thing he said kind of irked me, and he was talking about people should not be keeping monster fish, but I can't get mad at someone's opinion.
Yeah, he really shouldn't say that. I mean, people have the right to keep whatever kind of fish they want. If that's what's going to get them in the aquarium hobby and they enjoy it, I'm all for it.
That's true. He does have a point though. Not everyone can be Ohio Fish Rescue. That part I did agree with.
Right. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a 75-gallon tank and keeping a pair of Oscars. I don't see anything wrong with that.
That's true. So that brings me to my next question. What are your thoughts on monster fish?
I like monster fish. I haven't kept too many, but I could see me moving towards that again. Now, I just received in the mail, let's see, the Severums you saw. I received some convicts. They're not really monster, but they're more aggressive. Um, some green terrors I just got. Um, let's see. I'll probably move into the next realm, like the wolffish and maybe the Procelotus, like you said. I'm going to start moving up to the bigger fish now.
Nice. I think you'll enjoy that. They're very personable.
Yeah, and I definitely have the room for them. So,
That's good. The wolffish, they're very nice. I would recommend they maybe starting off with a rainbow wolffish or a gold wolffish,
all right. What about pikes? What do you think of the pike, freshwater pike?
like the cichlid ones or the cherishins.
The redfin from
Oh,
South America?
oh, the Crantocycla.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are beautiful. Those are a great fish. I've been actually wanting to get a Sabrina pike, but I haven't seen any recently. I've seen some in February, but then they just sort of disappeared after a while.
Yeah, they're not easy to find. And what about peacock bass? What do you think of them?
Oh, those are one of my favorite fish. I haven't had any in a while because they're hard to get off of live food. But I know that Malone's Monsters, he does a good job of getting fish off of live food. That's where I got my Pyara, which is supposed to be another fish that's hard to eat off of live foods. But my third day of owning him, he took tilapia and market shrimp. So if I were to get a peacock bass, which I will probably, I'll get it from Aquatic Rarities.
You're going to probably keep those in the 180, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little while until I get a bigger tank because
Yeah.
it's better to keep them in like two, three, or four instead of just one single one.
So let me ask you, have you tried acrylic fish tanks or do you mostly just always keep glass?
I've never had an acrylic tank. I've never came across them for sale. Mostly, I just come across the glass tanks, and um, that's probably because I tend to try to get as new as possible, just because I'm afraid that an older tank will crack or the silicone will leak. So I try to get as new as I can. However, I do hear from people that acrylic is pretty strong.
I love acrylic tanks. Few reasons. Number one, because I live in California and we get earthquakes here. So there's a lot of give in the acrylic tanks. You don't have to worry about them cracking. Number two, they have sort of a built-in lid to them. So the fish don't jump out as easily as they would on an open glass tank. And believe it or not, that 150-gallon that you showed the video of with the Severums, I got that off of Craigslist for $400, and that's a $1,500 tank.
Wow, not bad at all.
And you'd never have to worry about acrylics leaking. I have never bought a used acrylic tank that leaked.
Yeah, I kind of really want to try an acrylic tank just to say that I've had one.
You'll absolutely love it. Trust me.
a lot of people ask me why I, like in 2015, why I started saltwater. And at the time, it was just for me to say that I had it, but I didn't know that I really would love it like I did. And now I kind of miss it. But I'm not gonna leave the freshwater hobby again just to set up a saltwater tank. So I'll wait until I can get another saltwater up and running, and hopefully I can do the saltwater in an acrylic tank.
Yeah, I have mine in the acrylic. It's got a built-in sump in the back, and it's all self-contained. And as you know, once you get the saltwater tank seasoned, you know, the bacteria is really thriving in the live rock and in your gravel. It's pretty much self-contained. It'll just stay like that, and you can add fish, subtract fish, and I believe you even had a saltwater eel, didn't you?
Yes, I had a snowflake moray eel. Um, Very
Those are
nice fish.
nice.
Yeah, I originally wanted to get a zebra moray eel, but the fish store that I got my saltwater fish from, he only brings them in about 3 feet. So he said it's hard to get them any smaller than that.
I think you had a what was it? It's sort of like a goby. You did a whole podcast on it, like a jawfish. I forget what it was called. Um, I think it jumped out of the tank and died on you. You had a whole
Oh,
podcast on it.
diamond goby?
There you go, the diamond
Diamond
goby.
goby, yeah.
One of
Yeah.
my favorite podcasts you ever did.
Those are very beautiful. Uh, they're actually a fish that eats like live sand. They eat all the bacteria and stuff out of the live sand.
And you used to feed it by hand, didn't you?
Yeah, market shrimp. I just figured that it would be beneficial for me to see it eat like food instead of just the stuff that's in the live sand, just so
Right.
that I can rest assured that he was getting proper nutrients and stuff.
So what happened? Did you not have a lid on the top of your tank, or?
I had a lid, but I had a space near the filters where he got out from.
Oh my gosh. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah,
A little tiny spot and they find it and jump out.
I know it's strange, but I've been very lucky in that none of my arowanas have ever escaped. Only one, and that was years ago. But after that, none. My dad has the worst of luck with arowanas. He's had silvers, he's had blacks, he's had African, and they all jumped out on him.
Wow.
But for me,
Even with lids on it.
even with lids on his,
Wow. They're very strong fish, aren't they?
yes. And there's been days that I forgot to close the lids and they still haven't jumped out.
All
So,
right.
so I think I'm just testing. Maybe I was just testing luck, but I definitely make sure all the lids are closed every night.
So let me ask you, Alex, you've kept so many fish in your hobby. What is the one fish you're still waiting to keep?
Huh. I would probably say African tigerfish, black arowana, golden dorado too. Oh yeah,
Wow.
and tigrinus catfish.
Yeah, the African fish you mentioned, that the ones with the big teeth, right?
Yes,
The tiger fish. Yeah,
yes.
I would love to see videos on those. What would you feed that?
Pretty much the same thing I feed the payara and the arowanas, which would be earthworms, market shrimp, tilapia, and what are those little frozen fish? Shriners.
Oh, okay. Now,
Yeah.
would you be afraid to stick your hand in the tank?
Probably not really.
No? I
No.
don't know. If I saw those teeth, I don't know if I would stick my hand in.
It would be quick and painful. That's for sure. But the fish I'm more worried about is the arowana. They're known as the bony tongue, and that's because they have real strong bones in their tongue, and that could break a hand. If you're talking about a 2 foot long fish, it could easily break your hand and all the bones in your fingers.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to be careful with arowanas. I've had one jump out of a tank and land on my shoulder when I was rehoming it to someone that had a bigger tank a couple years ago, and I
So
felt how strong the bone was.
you hear that, fish keepers? You learned something new right here tonight.
Yeah, people fear piranhas, but there are other fish in South America that could do just as much damage. Like a pacu, could mangle your fingers instead of just leaving a wound on it like a piranha would.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know,
pacus have teeth that are meant to crunch and do a lot of damage to the fruit and stuff.
there is something I learned tonight while I was waiting for the show tonight. I didn't know it, but severums actually eat fruit. Did you know that?
Yeah, they do in the wild.
Yeah.
They eat fruit and vegetables and things like that.
So next time I eat a watermelon, I'm gonna give my severum some.
That's a good idea. I noticed you haven't kept any waru yet.
No, not yet. That's another one I'll probably try out. I really like when you get a whole
Yeah,
tank
you'll
full
like
of
them. They go
fish.
great.
When you get a whole tank full of fish, you have such a beautiful assortment. I love watching your videos.
Thank you. That means a lot. I always wanted to have the opportunity to interview you because you've been so loyal to me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been listening to you for about 7 years now.
Wow, time flies.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome that I have a loyal fan base.
and I even listen to your non-fish podcasts, which are equally as good. I know you had football, you've had music, you've had personal experiences, you've had cooking, which I really enjoy because I'm Italian like you. Love love my
Awesome.
chicken parm. You got to have chicken parm.
I love chicken parm. Yeah, I could probably do a interview like on cooking with you, hopefully in the future. Are you a good cook?
I am a good cook.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and we're from a Italian neighborhood. And every Sunday we would have the family gatherings where macaroni and chicken parm and eggplant parm and all the good stuff. So I
Nice.
learned.
I've been bad, kind of. The only eggplant parm that I've had recently is from restaurants.
Not the same as homemade, right?
No, not really. The breading on their eggplant parm tastes funny, kind of
Yeah.
like it's
I
frozen or something.
yeah, you have to use really good seasoned breading. That's the key.
That's very true. So I'm actually planning like an aquarium event. So would you be happy to attend that?
Is that the one you said in Florida?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how the diseases are right now. With the everyone's wearing masks still, and right now in where I am from in California, we still have 10,000 new cases a day. So we'll see if COVID starts to subside. I might consider coming out there, but you might want to wait a little bit. You probably get more people if you wait till COVID subsides a little bit.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now because one of the venues I had planned said, well, not until 2023 at least. So maybe that's what we'll do.
I agree with that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
if there's no COVID, I would definitely come.
Yeah, definitely. I guess they think 2022 is going to be the same as this year.
Unfortunately, yeah. I know I have my vaccine.
I do too.
I don't know what people are waiting for.
Yeah, I know. That's like a. I don't know how to talk about that one.
I know it's a hot button issue, so we won't go into that.
Yeah, I definitely will have you on again. I really enjoyed tonight. This was a really fun experience.
This was a lot of fun. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we finally were able to communicate like this.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe we can make it like a monthly thing if you're interested.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, do you have anything you want to close out our interview with?
Well, I would say this to everybody who's watching this or who will watch this. If you haven't gotten into the aquarium hobby, especially with everybody staying home because of COVID, you've got to try it. Get yourself a 20-gallon tank. They're $20 at Petco during their sales and give it a try. You will be hooked. It's a lot of fun. It's something you can get the children involved in. And if you have any questions on how to set one up or what kind of fish, you can ask the man right there, Alex. And I think you'll enjoy it.
Awesome. I did forget one question. I don't think I asked you this, but why would you tell people to check out my YouTube channel?
Because you give everybody loads of information, you make it fun, and you've experienced everything from the fish jumping out and dying to breeding to monster fish to small fish. You've done it all. So anybody who has a question, you have the answer. That's why I enjoy it.
Awesome. That's a really good answer. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I know you have a real busy schedule, and I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you.
Anytime, Alex. Just let me know. I'll be here.
Awesome. So I want to thank Steve for this great interview. I also want to thank everybody that watched today's video, whether it's live or catching the replay. I appreciate all the fantastic questions that were asked. I think this was actually my first most watched live stream, the most live attendance. So thank you everybody for that.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
It really means a lot to me. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give a thumbs up and make sure to share this video with all of your friends. And we'll see you on the next thing.
Hit that subscribe button.
Absolutely. So I was just looking at a comment we got on YouTube, and it says, you should make a big thing of Big C.D.
That sounds good.
Yes, I make plenty of Big C.D.s.
Do you really?
Yeah, I love it.
Whole milk regatta?
No, I don't like ricotta.
Oh, you don't like it?
Well, not true, because I like cannolis, but not in pasta.
Yeah, I got to have that in my baked ziti.
I've tried it before. It's okay.
Everybody has different tastes. That's what makes the world go round.
That's true. Well, thank you for taking the time to be here today. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome, Alex. I'll see you next time.
See you next time. And before I go, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.